Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Pooja Banerjee Barua, consultant pediatrician, Apollo International Hospital, Guwahati. Today, the purpose of my coming here is to talk to you about asthma, childhood asthma in particular. I'm sure most of you have heard the word asthma or are familiar with the term asthma. Asthma, as we all know, is a disease of the lungs. But what I would like to clarify here today is that it is not specifically, it's not really a disease of the lungs. It is more a disease of the airways that lead into our lungs. So, asthma is what we call a chronic inflammatory condition of the airways. Chronic means ongoing, which means it is something that is going to relapse and remit, something that is going to flare up at times and then it will get controlled and will lie dormant for a while. So that is asthma. Why is it that I'm talking about childhood asthma in particular today? The reason is this, that with the oncoming of winter now, the cases of asthma that are out there in the community usually tend to see a flare up. And also this is the season of festivals. As we all know, recently we have gone through Durga Puja and Diwali, and during the festivities what happens is there's a lot of cracker bursting going on, and which leads to air pollution, and this becomes a major cause of flare-ups of asthma. We get a lot of children who walk in at all odd hours of the night with wheezing attacks, and we need to nebulize them and take care of those acute attacks. So that is the reason why I'm talking to you now. I would want to tell all the parents out there that especially when the season is changing, one needs to be careful about taking care of children with asthma. So what are the signs or symptoms of asthma that parents can look out for? In children who are able to speak, most children will complain of chest tightness. They may often complain of chest pain also. A lot of children will have cough. They'll be coughing, and the coughing is very typical because it occurs mostly during the night and in the early hours of the morning. And a lot of them will have vomiting. You will see that the children vomit at the end of a bout of cough. That is very typical of asthma. The other thing that you can often notice is the child may be wheezing audibly. Wheezing is actually a whistling kind of sound that happens when the airways become very narrow due to an attack of asthma. So wheezing is another very prominent sign that one can observe in a child. In children who have severe attacks, they are often not able to speak. They may look pale, they may look sweaty. In short, the children can look very sick. So as soon as a parent detects any one of these, they should immediately rush to a local hospital if they have no measure at home. Or in parents who are used to dealing with children with asthma, it is very possible that they will have something like a short-acting reliever at home, like maybe a salbutamol inhaler. They can immediately begin to use that. Important thing that I would like to emphasize on here is that in my day-to-day practice, I have observed a lot of children using a lot of short-acting agents which relieve asthma on a regular basis. As in, I mean to say that I've seen a lot of children using the salbutamol inhalers almost every day or every night of the week. So what I would like to tell the parents is that if your child is needing to use a medicine like that so frequently, then you should definitely talk to your healthcare provider and see if the child can be taken on to something known as a controller medication, which are nothing but inhaled corticosteroids. Now I know that most people in the community have wrong, should I say, kind of prejudiced against the term steroid. And the moment we utter steroids, I see most of the parents looking at me in horror. They are almost, angry that I'm suggesting that their child take a steroid. But what they do not understand is that the inhaled corticosteroids have the medicines in extremely small doses. They have it in micrograms. And also the inhaled corticosteroids act very locally on the airways directly. They do not enter the blood as such. They do not enter the bloodstream. They act locally. They are in extremely small doses, and hence they hardly, if ever, cause any side effect. And it is much better than giving the child an oral corticosteroid or keeping the child on long-term short-acting agents which themselves are not very safe to use. So I would appeal to the parents to do away with the wrong notions in their head and to look at the picture rationally. And whenever they detect the child having symptoms more than 2 or 3 nights a week, maybe, they should immediately contact their care provider and discuss treatment options. The other thing I have always been harping on in any communication with my parents is that please ensure that your child gets all his or her vaccines on time, especially the influenza vaccines, the flu vaccines, and also the pneumonia vaccines. Kindly see that your child gets these on time. Also, please take care to avoid triggers. Now, if you ask me what a trigger is something that sets off an asthma attack or causes an asthma flare-up, because different children have different triggers. Now, asthma can be allergic, asthma can be non-allergic as well. If your child has a history of allergy, as you would know that some children are allergic to certain types of food, some children are allergic to dust, some children are allergic to smoke. So if you know that your child is allergic, kindly see to it that the child avoids these triggers, especially triggers that you can control, which are in your environment, especially at home. But that is one of the ways you can control the triggers. The other trigger that I would like to talk of is a non-allergic trigger. If I were to mention, it would be exercise. It's been seen that a lot of children get an attack of asthma after a bout of running, playing, cycling, even swimming. So there are children who have exercise-induced asthma. Those children again need to be put on inhalers over a period of time, so that the sensitivity of the airways can be reduced to a great extent. The reason why I'm speaking to you parents is this, that I believe as a patient of asthma myself, that anyone with asthma can lead a normal life, can chase his or her dreams to whatever extent. There's nothing like, oh, you have asthma, so you cannot do this. Oh, you have asthma, so you cannot do that. There's nothing like that now. We have good medicines, and with good awareness and knowledge amongst the parents, I believe that every child has the opportunity to live a completely normal life, asthma or no asthma. So I would like to wind up saying this. So stay healthy and stay happy. Thank you very much.